All right, listen up. I want to tell you about something that is happening in America, and it is happening right now. This is not happening in a war zone. It is not happening under some authoritarian regime. It's happening right here on American soil. Some detainees are protesting the conditions they are in, a hunger strike. Authorities have responded by force feeding. Patients describe it as one of the most uncomfortable procedures. And it is not something that a doctor would subject a awake, alert patient to. DHS officials quietly subject at least 10 hunger strikers in U.S. immigrant detention to involuntary medical procedures, including force feeding. But many as 5 were forced into treatment. The cases include a Kurdish asylum seeker. That detainee was force-fed 8 months. It ended only when he was deported. An Afghan man was force-fed daily for 6 months while being physically restrained. And a Ukrainian man detained by ICE in the now closed Alligator Alcatraz. DHS responded to the Guardian's when an individual's medical condition presents a compelling legal or operational interests are implicated. ICE may seek judicial authorization for appropriate medical interventions. We're talking about human beings. This healthcare and procedures that it meets the definition of torture are processed through legal channels. They look for permission from a federal judge to forcibly treat a hunger striker. They're approved quickly behind closed doors without meaningful due process. In 6 of the cases, the detained immigrants did not have any legal representation during court proceedings. Behind every single arrest person is a human who end up trapped in a detention system with poor living conditions and medical neglect. The Department of Homeland Security has continued to deny that its facilities have issues.
In a lot of the cases, there were no attorneys representing the hunger strikers who were being subjected to this practice. The Department of Homeland Security conducts other types of involuntary medical procedures on immigrant detainees. It's an extremely secretive practice. It's happening around the country, and it's happening behind closed doors. ICE, in coordination with the Justice Department, went to a federal judge and requested to force feed Mr. Choli. He was force fed for 8 months, from May of 2025 until January of this year. He described guards at the detention center would enter his solitary confinement cell. They would wrestle him to the ground. They would shackle him, take him to the infirmary, and then in the infirmary, they would pin him, hold him down to the bed, and a ICE medical staffer would insert a tube through his nose, down his throat, and into his stomach. They would pump liquids into his stomach to conduct the force feeding. He describes how at night, when he was going back to his solitary confinement cell, he'd be lying down, and he would have to swallow his own blood due to the trauma that was forced onto his nose and onto his throat.
To remain silent equates to doing nothing. To choose to do nothing is a conscious decision. And when silence allows cruelty to persist, your silence becomes complicity.